tell me, how did you get into singing? Is this something that you started from an early age, or is this something that you come to now?
No. I have been singing probably as long as I've been talking. But I started singing professionally when I was 18. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee, in the USA. I went to college there, and then I worked as a studio singer, and I sang backup for people who would come into the studio, mainly country artists, Dolly Parton, Winona Judd. And I did a lot of singing on television and jingles and that sort of thing.
Okay, what was that like singing with Dolly Parton?
You know, actually I didn't really, she wasn't really actually in the studio so much when I was there. She would come through, breeze by once in a while. But it wasn't as if it was on tour with her singing behind her. But I will say she's quite lovely, very down to earth, exactly what you would expect.
American artist is coming to Britain to try and get recordings in when it's usually the other way around?
Actually, it's not as uncommon as you think. for this kind of music, it's really not uncommon at all. I found Expansion Records. I signed with them. My album was released in July. My producer is also a recording artist on Expansion. I was produced by a man named Kendall Duffy of a group called Cloud9, and they are on Expansion. We started recording, and about 4 or 5 songs into the album, he said, "Would you mind if I submitted this to Expansion Records and see what they think?" And so he did, and then they signed me, and the album was released in July.
Okay, so the album has been released this summer. Tell me a bit about what sort of experience will listeners have on, when you sit down and listen to one of your tracks?
It's very smooth. It's really great road trip music if you have to drive for a long time, because it's very, very smooth. The lyrics are very positive, very upbeat, spiritual. My goal is to make music that was uplifting and positive to people, because I feel like the music business is just so inundated with negativity, and if you feed your mind with negativity all the time, then it sort of encompasses you. And I was bound and determined that when I started writing my own music, that I was going to write about really great, wonderful, positive things. So the lyrics are very, very positive, and the music itself is smooth and soulful and warm and very expressive.
back to some of the music, it sounds quite upbeat, up-tempo, but the lyrical content, I think the closest I can get to is maybe something by Joe Stone or Indiari. It's all about love and relationships. You know, what inspires you to write music on that sort of note?
Actually, just exactly what you said. Love, not only love between people, but love between a higher being and myself, love for my children. I have a song on my album entitled Legacy, which was written for my children. It really, the basis, the title is called Something True, and so I want to write about things that are true. So you can listen to my album from the beginning to the end, and by the time you've done it, you sort of hear my life story, and you definitely know what I stand for and what my beliefs are. And I think that that's very, very important, especially with kids. I have preteen boys, and so things that they're listening to, it's, as a mother, I just don't approve. So my music is for everybody, every age. It's timeless, and it's spiritually, it's inspired by things that are spiritual.
Okay, there's on the album track 2, Into You, I believe it's also called Treasure. I really like that track. What was inspired by that? Is it a personal sort of song?
Yeah, absolutely. I was sort of taking a step back and sort of reevaluating my life and really trying to figure out what it was that was important to me so that I could be a better mother and set an example for my children, and that I could go on to teach them to find what's important to them. So, in all truthfulness, when I got really quiet and sort of examined my life, I found that really beyond my circumstances, how bad they might be some days, that the thing that was the most important to me was my faith. So that was a faith-based song.
Okay, a bit of a tongue twister.
Yes, it is. Try to say that. It's not easy.
Okay, so when are you in your zone? When are you in your element? When you're performing, when's the best time for you? Do you prefer to be in the studio or performing live? And what do you do to psych yourself up or prepare for a performance?
You know, I like both the studio and live for different reasons, but you can't beat live. You just can't beat it because it's a collaboration with other artists. So, and I look at the experience as not just me on stage with people playing their instruments behind me, but I look at it as collaboration, and it's an organic experience, and we all sort of draw from each other, and that's the beauty of creating art. So live for me is definitely the way to go. I do like the studio because sometimes you can sing things and then you can stop and you can say, oh wait, I have an idea, and you can try things, and singing in the studio and trying things out really sort of enhances your live performance because you know what works and what doesn't work. And then to address the second part of your question about psyching myself up for a live performance, I don't have to do that because this really is just who I am. I mean, I was put on this earth to do this, so I'm sort of all hyped up about it all the time. So I don't have to, it's just very natural for me, and it's very natural for me to even sing without a band behind me. I have no problem doing that at all. Just singing and using the gift that I have been given is just, it's like breathing to me. So I don't have to do anything to prepare myself to do a live show.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. The pleasure's mine.